Africa will never be respected if it continues solely exporting raw materials. If we genuinely want to gain economic power, we need to industrialize. We need to build, produce, and innovate domestically. So, what are the 5 major reasons stopping us from industrialization? And what can you do as an ordinary African to move it forward? Let's break that down. 1, electrification is the power of the future. No industrial revolution ever succeeded without a reliable source of energy. Today, the energy source is what? The major one, electricity. Manufacturing needs uninterrupted power supply for machinery, storage, transport, and productivity. So, what's the problem? Over 600 million Africans lack access to electricity. Even those that have some face constant blackouts, unreliable grid, and high cost. Countries like Nigeria, the continent's biggest economy, struggle to generate 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts of electricity to power its more than 200 million people. What can be done? The government must prioritize grid expansion and deregulate the power sector to allow innovation. The private sector and the diaspora needs to invest in solar microgrids and other decentralized systems. You can support startups working in the renewable energy sector. Pressure the leaders to act and learn and share energy innovation. 2, infrastructure, connecting Africa to itself. Why that matters? Goods cannot move without roads, railway, or ports. Industrial zones would die without logistics. Africa has the lowest density of roads in the world and poor cross-border infrastructure. The problem is that today, intra-Africa trade is harder than trading with China or Europe. This chokes manufacturing and limits growth. What can be done? Government should enable the building of cross-border transport corridors, prioritize logistics over ego projects. The private sector should push for public-private partnerships. You can support Africa-made logistic and transport tech. Ask your local leaders, where is the plan? 3, education and skills. We need to build a workforce that can build. Why this matters? Machines need operators. Softwares need coders. Factories need technicians and not just graduates. The problem is African education is highly theoretical. We produce too many graduates with little skills. We need welders, electricians, industrial designers, and machinists. What can be done? The government should revamp our educational system, invest in technical and vocational education, reform curricula towards industrial skills. You can learn a trade, encourage others to, and support skill-based training. The diaspora should bring knowledge home, mentor online, fund skill hubs, not just scholarships abroad. 4, trade policies, protecting and growing African industries. Why this matters? Every successful industrial country used tariffs and policies to protect local industries before it opened up. Africa needs time to build internal capacity. The problem? We import too much and produce very little. African manufacturers struggle to compete with cheap Chinese goods. Free trade zones without preparation lead to collapse, not growth. What can be done? Our governments should use smart tariffs, support local manufacturers with subsidy and R&D. You should buy African-made products and share stories of local brands. The Pan-African Institutes should strengthen the African Continental Free Trade Area with real enforcement. 5, industrial mindset, the culture of building. Why this matters? Industrialization is not just a policy, it's a mindset of solving problems, valuing engineering, and dreaming big. Our problem? We over-celebrate entertainment more than engineering. We expect government jobs, not to create factories. We buy foreign goods with pride and diminish local products as inferior. What can be done? The media and influencers can start promoting builders, inventors, and doers. You can start celebrating and using African-made tools and machines. Be more curious about how things work and start teaching kids how to build things. Africa will not become industrialized by magic. It will not be an accident. It will take vision, sacrifice, and millions of doers like you. If we want power, wealth, and dignity, we must rise beyond raw materials. We must build, fix, invent, and solve. That's the only way Africa can rise. If this message resonates with you, like, share, and subscribe.